Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video, we are going to be making a icicle. Now this is an icicle ornament. It's meant to be hung on mantles, trees, doors, anywhere that you want to decorate the home. It's a great little first project for somebody for Christmas, and it is also a great seller. There's a lot of sellers out there that make a bunch of these every year and end up selling out. So this project is in correlation with our 10 hand-forged Christmas gifts, a guide to 10 hand-forged Christmas gifts this year, ebook that we are selling. You can find the information for this ebook down in the description, or you can go to this little link right here and go check out blacksmithpdfs.com and you can purchase it over there for download. Again, it'll have 10 hand-forged items that are good sellers. It has everything from all the SEO stuff, the tags, the search engine optimization stuff. We've broken down the price and the starting material, stock sizes, and some finished photos of what they should look like. So without further ado, let's get on to this. We're starting with a piece of 1/4 by 1/4 square stock, cold rolled, by 6 inches long, or that for you guys across the pond, that's 6 mil by 6 mil by about 150 millimeters long. We're going to get this heated up, and the first step in an icicle, we need to take and draw out a taper. Okay, so the first step in this process, we want to take about 4 inches of material, approximately, for 100 millimeter, and we want to take and draw that down to a long, slender taper. Now your first heat, you don't have to worry about your hammer blows too much. You just want them to be even is all, and make sure you don't get any rhombusing. And stop hitting it when it gets too cold. So we're going to put that back in the fire. Again, start at about the 4-inch mark and draw from there. We're going to leave some of the original parent bar stock material. Okay, so now while holding this in a pair of tongs, I like to use a little pair of scrolling tongs for way out here on the tip and start doing my alternating twists. Just try to keep them about even as you go and grip them about where the twisting ends, the thicker of the way up. And as you go like that, that's a quick, easy way versus letting the heat of the vise suck out all the heat out of your material. Not the heat of the vise, the jaws of the vise suck all the heat of the material out of your icicle before you can even get it twisted. This can be used in a lot of different things. In ironwork, being able to take and do alternating twists all the way down to a little tiny point, but this is how it's done. So now I'm going to take another heat on it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this all cool and then continue to twist back up in through here. So I'll cool that off a little now. And now I'll just flip this around and get this good and hot without the tip. So I'll flip that around. You want to be careful gripping it from this end though, because if you grip it too much here, you can leave bite marks from your tongs. So be careful of that. We will pull it back out and bite it in the tongs themselves from that other end, but we're just trying to focus all the heat on that rear of that twist there, so we don't have to, on the parent bar stock, so this way we don't have to come backtrack up there. We don't have to double step, requench and then yada yada yada, things like that. So we'll let that get good and hot, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, now that's good and hot again. We're going to grab this out. Now you can see we got just this back end heated. We're going to grab it from our last twist, and we're going to twist it back the opposite direction. Give it a good couple twists like that. Ah, good to go. Good. That breaks up the pattern just fine. I let it get a little cool there. That way it's a little tougher. It's a little tougher to do. Again, as you can see, it comes out pretty nice. Really head trippy when you turn it like that. It's kind of neat. So resist the urge to come along here and whack on this thing now with a regular hand hammer. You need to come in and use a mallet if you need to straighten anything up. Because if you hit this with a hand hammer, you're going to leave flat spots all over your piece, and that's just not going to look very attractive. Alright, so there you go. That right there is basically done. Now I'm going to go on to a little bit little extra here, and we are going to set down a bit of material to flatten out so we can end up putting a little bit of a punch mark on the end. I like to just flatten this out ever so. You can leave it like it is and just drill it with a little small hole and put one of those little wire hooks through it, like for an ornament. If you're doing an ornament, if you're going to be hanging it from something else, like a railing or something, where you want ribbon through it, instead you're going to have to spread this end a little bit just to take and get some more mass around a drilled or punched hole. So I'll go ahead and heat this up and flatten that end down just a bit. Okay, now for a little extra holiday fun, we're going to clamp this in the vise on the side there, and we're going to let that cool just a bit. And once it's done cooling down, we're going to use a brass brush. We don't want to start brass brushing right now at this heat because none of the brass is going to stick. We're going to brass brush. We can brass brush out here on the very end, running lengthways with the piece. And as that cools down, we can add more brass brushing to it, and that'll really highlight all those curves that we've been putting into this, and it'll make it look really, really good. Just has an additional little bit of fun there. Again, it adds just a little more panache. Makes it fun. Or at least I think it does. So there we go. Now, last but not least, we'll grab this and quench her off a little bit. Get a little more here on this back side. Make sure it's just good and brass brushed. It makes it help stand out a little bit too as well. There we go. Like so. Alright, there you have it. There's one hand-forged icicle. Hopefully that looks pretty good to y'all and you can see that well enough. So the last bit here, I just suggest drilling a hole in here of a proper diameter that'll fit on here, and that's ready to go. You can leave these raw, you can do an oil finish to them, or you can paint them. I suggest painting them with a clear Rust-Oleum. Whoops. I suggest painting them with a clear Rust-Oleum finish. That tends to make them look the nicest, I think, at the end of the day, and it's the most serviceable usually for the homeowner or the customer that you're buying these. So again, if you want to know the cost breakdown, how much it costs time-wise, money-wise to make these, and kind of have an ROI breakdown, all of that stuff figured out for you in estimate form. If you want to do that, again, consider purchasing the ebook that is surrounded by this. the 10 hand-forged, the guide to 10 forged, hand-forged Christmas gifts. Blah. If I can get that out there. Say that 3 times fast. Anyways, the link to that again is down in the description down below. Once again, always appreciate your support. And thank you for watching. God bless you all, and we'll catch you on the next one.